Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Before we get into the video, we're going to take a sneak peek at what essentially the banners have been released for the new hero that is going to be coming up on the test server. Now the name or the code name identifier that they have it on is Scorpion Lady as of right now. So let's go ahead and hop over and take a look at it. All right, so here is the first pick. As you can see, there's some treasure behind there. Looks like there is something sitting right here, almost like maybe a helmet or a claw or something. And it might be almost like a pincer, like a scorpion. But a lot of players are also saying that this is going to be a rogue hero, so yet to be seen. And also it is going to be the Maulers. Now looking at the color and kind of the depiction of the hero here, it does look like a Mauler. Now, of course, there is one other picture that is this one. So it is kind of an other side. It almost looks like she's sitting on some sort of throne. You see some chains back here. But overall, this is the depiction of the Scorpion Lady that we're seeing. And you can see again here, and it almost looks like, again, it's almost like a helmet, like there's an eye. We're going to have to see exactly what she looks like in actually combat or in utility and see exactly how this hero kind of plays out. But in the meanwhile, if that hero is very important, that means we're going to have to build out our Draconus heroes. We're also going to have to get some diamonds for the rest of the heroes. Want to run through the current events that are up now. In addition, we just got this one. That is right. It is another copy of Hilduin. A lot of players were wondering how many copies of Hilduin we're getting, and it looks like we're getting a lot. I think there's even like 4 additional copies of this hero himself. In addition, we are seeing our first Draconus gear. That is right. It is free gear right here, guys. Finally, we have the ability to actually get some of this gear, and they did give us 2 chests. So now I would wait personally. I'm going to sit on this Draconus gear. Now, I think overall in time, we're going to build it out a lot further. But overall, I would just stay on the gear because, again, we're seeing a lot of utility. And I want to look at first being the Treasure Vanguard. So the Treasure Vanguard is up. Make sure you hop in here. Make sure you dispatch your teams. This is a #1 priority when you come to Operations Dispatch. Depending on really where you're at, either 3 teams, 7 teams, or 7 teams down here. Now, this is only 3 heroes per team. This is 7 heroes in their entirety. And I believe we had a couple formations saved in here. And I don't like how they built out the rest of these formations. It's kind of silly. I'm going to have to go through here and get a few formations because you can see it only saved 2 of them. A lot of players are having and struggling a lot with the formations. Again, these were all saved and built in the old previous. So I'm going to have to hop in here. We're going to have to do this dispatch. Now, of course, if you're strong enough to do this and if you're strong enough kind of PvP wise to go in here, this is going to increase physical pierce, magical pierce, which of course is right here in the military camp. You can see the escort, which is the 3 teams. This is the 7 teams with 3 heroes. And then the occupy is the one that is going to build it up here. Now, again, there's kind of either or spread operations evenly for the higher faction gains. This is one that we really want to focus on. Now, of course, the intel, this is how it is broken up right now. So you can see a lot of people are doing escort, followed by occupy, followed by inspect based on our faction itself. And then, of course, this overarching is where you get your loot. So out of here, you can see we get a lot of loot out of here. You definitely want to go in here, get all of your red chests, get your Stargazer scrolls. And then there is an overarching loot to this one, which of course is diamonds and the time emblems with the new hero for the Mauler faction that could be coming up. We definitely want to go in here and we want to farm up everything we can in a multitude of game modes, meaning that we're going to have the ability to build them out. Now, also looking at our Draconic heroes, a lot of players were questioning, should we get the copies of Hilduin? In my opinion, guys, it's kind of either or, because if you're getting Hilduin, essentially within the Dragon Forge, you need all of them. That is the problem. That is the consensus. You need all of the forms of the dragons, including Gwen, to actually make a lot of progression within there. So Hilduin, I'm going to continue getting this copy of Hilduin, and we are I believe it is 1 copy away at this point with Hilduin to actually build him up to Mythic Plus. And then, of course, if we get some more copies through essentially that they're giving us time and time again, we might end up overbuilding him, which would kind of stink because, again, we don't know exactly how many copies of Hilduin we are getting in the entirety. But as we continue to get more resources, he is the one that I'm building up because of what we're seeing right here. So again, if we get him to Mythic Plus, which we need 1 more copy, this is going to give us another copy. Then if we get more free copies, ascended to 1 star, we'll be able to build them up much further. And then if they do give us future copies or future chests like this, we can actually start using them for the insignia that we can build them up. Now, ultimately, again, Seems like Hildwyn is being used, but I do want to talk about that as well, is looking at the Dragon Isle, looking at the Dragon Forge, like we are kind of saying, you're going to have all of the heroes kind of built out to get essentially everything out of this game mode, making sure that you're making progression in here. Now, with that being said, the Draconic heroes. So we know the tier list came out, and I believe it's been, what, a week, a little over a week at this point. Looking at the hellscape, it seems like we are seeing a really, really big presence of a few Draconic heroes, which I did want to show you as we go through here. We'll look at Chan right here. So looking in here, we do have Oden in there, which again, yeah, got to get kind of used to the skin on how they look, even with Demia right down there. But looking through here, the dragon that we're seeing is right there. So we are seeing Nyla in a lot of different game modes. You can see Nyla is actually being used right there. We are seeing Nyla in a lot of different game modes, which is really, really cool. I feel like the utility for the next tier list is going to be through the roof, because this is now 2 iterations that we have seen her run in different game modes. We've seen her used here. Now, Treasure Scramble wise, we know the Treasure Scramble is on repeat right now. Unfortunately, we didn't see the Draconic heroes last Treasure Scramble, which I thought was kind of weird to see that we were not seeing them at all. But overall, we are seeing Nyla in here. And then we are also seeing Gwen, I believe, in a formation. Maybe not in this iteration, but again, we seen Gwen in the last one. Before that, it was Nyla and Hildwyn. Again, last iteration, it was Gwen. And then, of course, this one, we are only seeing Nyla being used, which again, utility-wise, support hero, doing pretty good with the damage. Now, of course, looking at the Nightmare Corridor, has been kind of the same. Is we're not seeing a lot of use in here. Even looking here, we have no Draconus heroes. Here is the exact same. I thought we had one, maybe not at this iteration. And again, kind of the burst damage that we're seeing. So here, no, even looking at Gwen, even thinking of a couple of the Draconus heroes that are kind of burst heroes, they are not being used within the best in slot formations. And again, thinking of the Nightmare Corridor, it is going to be the exact same. We're going to have to see when this comes up or not. It put that in the way. Treasure Scramble, we're going to have to see exactly when this comes up, exactly what it looks like based on our rankings, if we're finally starting to see and starting to use these Draconus heroes in a bunch of different game modes. Then, of course, we also have to remember to see what the impact of the new hero is going to be. So there's a lot coming down the pipeline, guys. Like I've said before, there is a ton of stuff that is coming. So at this point, honestly, I would probably save my diamonds, see in essentially, we have to see the impact of the new Mauler that could be coming or is coming, and seeing essentially how game-changing that Mauler is going to be in a bunch of different areas. It could come out like Crescio. We could see the Mauler just be an absolute flop, where it's another hero really not to build. And of course, this is really big because of the desired hero summons. That is the reason why we are saving all of our diamonds at this point. Is once we get the hero, and once we do get the hero up on global, we'll have the ability to actually drop her right in here with the desired hero summons. You can see we have 8 of 8 summons, meaning that a brand new hero drop, we can actually take them straight to Ascended with the 8 of 8 copies. We already have the food, we already have everything in here, so very easy to build. Now, of course, Stargazer probability is still the 2%. We are waiting for the next patch, and we hope it is going to be the next patch going to the 2.5%, which again, that is going to be yet to be seen if it's going to be the next patch. It might be one after that. Now, of course, with this patch, they did give us a absolute crazy amount of these. So again, we're going to be able to just unlock all of these slots, which here, I mean, we have a ton of slots that came open. In addition, if you look at the numbers here, 311 of 500, they opened a ton, and players were pretty impressed with the hero slots and the capacity that they actually opened in there, which was very cool to see. Now, of course, we're trying to get our Elder Tree up to 109, a lot going on. And with the weeklies, we got all of our bonus right here, all of our bonus Draconic emblems that popped up in there. Again, we're going to have to wait and see exactly where they're being used in a bunch of different game modes. So overall, guys, there is a ton going on. I'm going to have to drop my Vanguard teams in there. Celestial Isle, of course, we're doing the summons. Get into the Treasure Scramble. We also do have the Temple Rift that is going to be coming up for loot. This game is just kind of crazy right now. Hopeless Isles, we just completed that a little bit ago. Misty Valley, we have a couple more days on the reset on that one to continue our progression. But again, big news is the new Mauler. A lot of players were also speculating it was going to be an Awakened Mauler, which it is not. And they're also talking about June, which is right around the corner, which is going to be a dimensional crossover with an anime. So they have already said that it is going to be an anime. We just have to see what the dimensional crossover looks, and maybe, fingers crossed, we could see a dimensional tower at that, but don't hold your breath, because we have, and unfortunately, People would have died if we were holding our breath for that long. But as you can see, guys, we have a ton of heroes right here. We've been saving up a lot of those dimensional emblems to go ahead and use them on the new heroes that are coming up. So guys, that is going to do it for the leaks for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.